Hey everybody, Jillian here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I've got a new hymnal art journaling process video for you. So this is a look at my hymnal. This beautiful cover was made by my friend Kristen at Plays with Scissors. I'll link her Instagram in the video description below. Today I was inspired to use the brand new Maggie Holmes Willow Lane collection. So those are the die cut paper pieces that you see at the top of the frame, and those are going to end up being my color inspiration for today's art journaling entry. First, I'm going to go ahead and get some Liquitex clear gesso onto the hymnal pages using this paint card from Illustrated Faith. You could use any like old credit or debit or gift card that you have laying around. Just scraping a thin layer of the clear gesso on both pages. It's pretty gritty, but it does a really good job of acting as a barrier to between the paper and the media that I'm going to put on it. So I'm going to hit that with my heat tool and then put it aside to finish drying, and then in the meantime I'm going to go through this pack of paper pieces and pull out some things that I think I might want to use. I have one idea in particular, like this little panda person. Just putting things off to the right that I like the color of, I like the look of. That's going to drive the direction that page goes in. This paper pack comes with two sections, so the piece that I actually want, that adorable little panda, was in the second one, and then I found an extra frame. So I'm going to go ahead and move those guys out of the way, away from the splash zone, so I don't mess them up. And I'm pulling out some Liquitex inks here. They're acrylic inks. I'll list the specific colors in the video description below, along with all of the other supplies that I used. So before I get started, I'm going to remove the journal or the hymnal cover too, because I don't want that to get messed up. These acrylic inks, in my experience, like stain things really bad. They're not easy to get up. So I'm trying to take every precaution that I can to save things, to make sure that doesn't get too messy. So I was super inspired by Wilna when I created this. I'm doing almost exactly what she does in her art journaling pages. She has a wonderful YouTube channel and offers all sorts of classes and printables and things like that. I'll go ahead and link her blog and her channel in the video description below also, because she does this like way better than I ever could. And she's super sweet and is just a great teacher. And so I watched, I think, her latest video, which I'll link below also, and I was like, that looks really fun. I had a rough day yesterday. It's been a rough several days, and I just wanted to create something, and this was just the kind of thing that I needed. So very much taking inspiration from her. So I just did a watercolor wash on my page with some Illustrated Faith watercolors. Look at that, no bleed through, you guys. Except for where I got paint on the back side of the page, obviously. So I did a watercolor wash with the Illustrated Faith watercolors, and then I'm just drying that with my heat tool here. This gets super hot, and I actually do burn the page at one point, but it's very handy. And then the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to use this stencil. It's from Kaisercraft. I just got it, and it's really fun. It's all these, like, they call it tribal shapes, but just these fun little kind of like art marks. And so I'm using white texture paste with a palette knife to just scrape that through the stencil. And I really like the look of this. This is a super fun stencil to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean off the palette knife there, and then before I do anything else, go ahead and clean the texture paste off of the stencil so that it doesn't dry and become a mess and make it difficult to use in the future. So then I'm going to hit that with the heat tool. This dried really quickly with the heat applied to it. I'm using my Bible mat here because I'm going to go ahead and put down some of the Liquitex acrylic ink, and I didn't want to get ink everywhere. This color purple that I used is super purpley, so I wanted to kind of tone it down with some white ink, and I got so much on my page. On the left side there, I'm thinking, whoa man, I was at that point where I was like, this is not going to end well. So I went over it with a baby wipe here to try and pick up some of the ink. I love the color. It's really pretty. I love the way that it looks over the white texture paste, but it is so much purple on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and dry that and then show you guys how I try and tone that down. Next, I'm going to go in with some of this black cross washi tape. I'm almost at the end of the roll, and I'm just tearing off little pieces to put in different areas on the page just to add a little texture, a little pattern underneath all of the paint. The purple ink that I used is Deep Violet, and then I also used the titanium white to kind of tone it down a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with a third ink at the end here, and that color will be Turquoise Deep. So to help tone down this purple and all of the color that's going on, I'm using some white, just cheap craft acrylic paint here. And there's no like rhyme or reason for where I'm putting it. I don't totally want to cover up the music on the page, and I'll end up even going with my finger at one point to help cover it up. And then hitting that with my heat tool again. Now this is where I go in with the Turquoise Deep ink, and I realized, okay, you just need a little bit. And then I'm doing a wash, just like Wilna does in her video. So adding a ton of water from my paintbrush to the ink to move it around. So I only had to apply the ink like one time on the left, and then I just kept picking up from that and putting that elsewhere around the pages. And then tapping a teeny tiny little brush into the bottle of ink and then splattering that on my page too. And I added a little more at the bottom here. At this point, I'm kind of liking it. I was like, okay, these colors look really, really nice together. And then I'm going in with the baby wipe to kind of pick up some of the ink so it's not so dark. Now, yeah, it looks totally messy. If you're thinking like there's no coming back from this, I would have agreed with you in the moment. But white paint covers so much stuff, you guys. And it's just so fun. The process is so fun and so relaxing, and it's wonderful. It's just what I needed. So I had done the journaling portion of this in my quiet time journal. I had written out a prayer, so I'm not going to journal on screen here. In fact, I had to go to the craft store after I made this to get a pen that wouldn't get torn up on all of the texture and stuff like that. But I'll just show you what it looks like before journaling when I'm done here. So originally, like I said, I thought I would use that little panda person and put her on the page, but then I was realizing this kind of looks like a galaxy a little bit, and I had cut out this Beloved Society girl as part of the Beloved Society 100 Days release, and then thought that girl who has like a galaxy shirt on her would look really pretty with these brushed words stickers. Instead of using the large one that said Holy Spirit, I decided to go ahead and use this one that says Lift Up Your Eyes, because even though I and so many other people are going through just really difficult circumstances, we're not alone. We're not left to struggle on our own. All we have to do is lift up our eyes to the Lord, look to His Word for His truth when our feelings start to try and call the shots, right? And so that's what I was reminding myself the whole time that I was journaling this, and just thought it was so perfect that I got to find a product that was such a great reminder. It kind of matched the message that was playing in my head. Here I am toning down some of that teal at the bottom with my finger, and I had burned the page down there on the bottom right. Covered the burn mark up with some white acrylic paint too. So I'm indicating here I want something up towards the top. So I'm looking to this sticker sheet that's also from the Willow Lane collection from Maggie Holmes, and I'm going to kind of layer some things up here. So I really wanted to add the gold color shine, which you saw on screen earlier, and then I wanted to add a little bit of like yellow or gold to that, and so there are some like yellow gold stickers on the sticker sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and put this label down at the top. I'm going to use it as a place to date stamp my entry here, and I'm going to leave it hanging off the edge. I'll just go back and trim off the excess, and then I really like this frame with the butterfly for no reason, just thought they looked nice, and then this gold crown is cute. I thought I'd layer that on top of the frame. And then I'm going to go ahead and get this girl down off on the left side and then layer the sticker over her right edge right next to her. And I'm making sure that it's on like, that there's not so much stuff happening in the background of the sticker that you can still see what it says. And I did use her to cover up some of that really purple area off to the left. So in a perfect world, I would want to put that like yellowish gold color over on the left also, but I didn't see any more stickers on the sticker sheet that would go. So I decided to use this Heidi Swap Gold Color Shine instead. I had a bit of a difficult time opening the bottle, but once I got it open, I just covered with a paper towel the sticker and the girl on the left so that they didn't get splattered with gold paint, and then just went to town, splashing the gold paint all over the place, and then heat set it a little bit so that I wouldn't smear it, because I would totally smear it. I sopped up some parts that seemed to have too much paint, or where the paint was moving too much. And that is going to do it. Here's a finished look at my page, minus the journaling and a couple of close-ups. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment below. I've got more detailed info product-wise on my blog if you want to check that out, hellojillski.com. And I hope you guys have a great day, a great rest of your week, and if there's any way that I can be praying for you, please let me know down in the comments below. I'd be honored to do so. All right, I'll see you guys soon.